Here we go. A minute. Let's. Ooh.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're talking about midsummer movies. Okay, Entertainment Tonight, The Lion King, which is going to do huge. Disney's is doing a whole bunch of stuff this summer. He's got some stories to tell you, but first, let's go to our website, which is on YouTube. YouTube channel, Videoland Express. As you know, these shows get recorded on the day of the show, Saturdays at 5 p.m. And we make a copy of it, and it takes about 40 hours to upload it. So, in case you're afraid of spoilers or whatever, or you're actually out shopping somewhere and you're taping these shows will be up by Monday, okay, Monday morning. And the other site is Instagram. That's my Instagram account. I'm posting a lot of things, a lot of original stuff, a lot of pictures and videos, a lot of stuff with music, okay, because we're going to have this show it's going to be a repeat. We're not going to be on in 2 weeks. Concentrating on the music, and that stuff will be posted by July when we do a Spider-Man show in July. Okay, so that website will be up right now. I'm working on SoundCloud, all original music, written, performed, and whatever by me. Anyway, so let's go back to the live show. We're done with that. I'll get more into details of Spider-Man show and after July 4th weekend. So, like I said, Mark has a couple of stories to tell. Box office report. Last time we talked, Avatar is only $50 million away from being the #1 movie of all time. $50 million, that's kind of like pennies. When you speak about hundreds of dollars, okay? It's $50 million away from being the #1 picture. And who knows, maybe by July 4th weekend, it'll catch up to Avatar. Either beat it or really tight, close race at the box office. Talk about box office real quick because we're going to have movie reviews. We got about 10 movie reviews to give you, like I finally caught it with John Wick. But let's get to box office. Men in Black, opening $30 million. It can't even clear $50 million. A dead franchise. Next, The Secret Life of Pets. It's going to make about $100 million. People are tired of it. Kevin Hart screaming, that's really tired. Disney has a surprise hit with Aladdin. 300 in the U.S. It's going to clear 600 worldwide. That's why Lion King is going to be huge. Shaft, shut your mouth. Less than $10 million. Next, Dark Phoenix, another bomb. Okay, that's where the story comes in. But hold on, finishes up. Rocket Man, it's going to clear 100 million. It is no Bohemian Rhapsody. Really disappointing. Caught up with that. Godzilla is not doing too bad. But remember, in China, Pacific Rim cleared 200 million. Right now, Godzilla can't even cross $150 million in China, which is not looking good. But it will clear about $400 million. But unless Godzilla vs. King Kong comes out and does really great box office, we're going to be seeing the end of another franchise, like Men in Black. Kick it out. Okay? And then, of course, I finally caught up with John Wick. But anyway, some people would ask me what's going to happen to the franchise. Well, Godzilla vs. Kong's got to do huge. We'll see what happens with that. Okay? And, of course, people were asking me about, you never mentioned about Godzilla 1985. This was the movie. This was the Spanish version in Espanol. Really hard to get a copy. Where else did I get it? In Puerto Rico, of course. But anyway, trivia. What does Rocket Man and Iron Man have in common? Well, Robert Downey Jr. did he did a music video for Elton John. The song was called "I Want Love." Can't sing it, can't play it, copyright restrictions. But just look it up, Elton John, "I Want Love," and you see a pre-Iron Man, a very young Robert Downey Jr. This is, and you can look at his face, you can see he just got done doing rehab. And the thing with that was that he did the song in 14 takes. That means the camera, it was filmed in a mansion in L.A. He starts with one room, the camera follows him going to all these different rooms. 14 takes, the director decided the last 14th take was the one that shows up in the video. No cuts, no splices, nothing. All the song's about 3.5 minutes, so 3.5 minutes. So check that out. That's a little trivia. As far as I'm concerned, everything, he's not going to be in Kingsman #3, but he does deserve a nomination for Rocket Man. Rocket Man 3 out of 5. That whole rated R thing, Russia was right. Just cut a minute or two, boom, it could have been PG-13. That rated R really hurt the box office. I was disappointed because some of the music scenes became like fantasy numbers. And they, again, another movie like Bohemian Rhapsody, they got a lot of the actual events wrong. My biggest beef was when Elton John played the Troubadour back in 1970, he did not do Crocodile Rock. He didn't even write it yet. Crocodile Rock, the single, didn't come out till 1972. I finally caught up with John Wick. 4 out of 5. I prefer the second one. You love John Wick, right?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, listen. Let him do 4 and 5, and then send him out of space, like they did with everybody.
Everybody in space, and then after space, like the Avengers or everybody else, then he can go back in time.
Back in time, see? Space and back in time. Okay,
right.
So let me finish his reviews because he got stories to tell you, which I'm hearing for the first time myself. Okay, so John Wick, 4 out of 5. Godzilla.
Right, my only problem with John Wick was they needed more John Wick, less of everybody else. I
did like the sequence with the dogs, with the Halle Berry. I thought that was slick.
But you know,
in dogs, you know.
But you know, in real life, those dogs would have been killed quickly.
Come on. Supposedly John Wick gets killed at the end of the movie. Supposedly, even though we know that he's going to come up with number 4. Look at the drop that he had. Who can survive a drop like that? He gets shot on the roof, falls over, boom, boom, in the fire escape, boom, then flat on the floor. Nobody gets up with that.
That break his fall. That if he would have gone straight, he would have died. But that stopping his momentum saved his life.
He would have broke every bone in his body.
No, he was already lucid.
Lucid. Okay. We both like John Wick. Godzilla, 4 out of 5. I still defend the big finale. Mothra going up against Rodan, Godzilla going against Ghidorah. I thought it was fantastic. And they still use stop-motion caption, suits, believe it or not. I mentioned Rocket Man. Secret Life of Pets, very disappointing, 2 out of 5. Movie went nowhere. It's all about saving this Siberian tiger. And I don't know, these are the guys who make Minions, you know. I love the Minion movies. This was really disappointing, okay? If you're a fan of the first movie, wait till Netflix, okay? Aladdin, 3 out of 5. It's very colorful, but nobody can beat the Robin Williams version. He's got a story. Hold on. Surprise hit for me. Batman versus the Ninja Turtles animation. Definitely a 4 out of 5. It is. They got all the humor from Ninja Turtle movies. It's in there. Robin is really funny with the turtles, and of course, at the end, everybody has pizza. Okay, so I definitely recommend Batman versus Ninja Turtles. And they do a kind of a spin-off with the Joker because he gets injected with a lotion. Well, can't tell you, spoiler. See the movie. Definitely recommend it. And let's go backwards a little bit. Men in Black came out yesterday. If you saw the trailer, you saw the movie. Time to kill the franchise. Sorry. And like I said, it's only opening to 30 million. Chris Hemsworth cannot open a movie.
He can't. It's sad to say. We like him. We have no problems with him.
He's great at story. He was hysterical.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but he can't open a movie.
Can't open a movie.
He can't open it. He doesn't have. He's not Robert Downey Jr. He's not Tom Cruise. He's not Keanu Reeves. He cannot open a film by himself.
Right.
It's hard to say. And it's like, people always say, oh, Thor Ragnarok is the best Thor movie. How could you say anything bad about him? I'm like, well, the reason why that was any successful was because of the Hulk. I'm sorry. They stole that script from Hulk Planet, and that's why it was successful. Sorry.
Well, what was that I was going to say?
About him not opening a film?
Yeah, no, because he was going to be in Star Trek, playing Kirk's father.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like nobody's
They
going to...
dodged the bullet.
They dodged the bullet, yeah.
Yeah, that money would have gone, it would have tanked. You see, Chris Hemsworth, I think he's believing a lot of his own mythos. He's beginning to believe a lot of his own press.
No.
I'm saying that he's believing his press because he walked away from Star Trek because he was believing that he deserved more money. I'm sorry, Chris Hemsworth. You wouldn't have opened the film. The film wouldn't have lived or died because of you. You're not Robert Downey Jr. You're not the guy who created Iron Man.
Well, he was very good with the press for Captain Marvel.
You could be good with the press.
But
doesn't mean you're good in the movie.
Yeah. Well, also don't forget that's why they're going to stick him with Guardians of the Galaxy. He can't do a Thor movie by himself anymore, and so they got to stick him with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So,
with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I think what they needed is a person like Hulk, but not Professor Hulk. That is a terrible character. And everybody says online that Professor Hulk was the worst thing that Mark Ruffalo did to the Hulk.
But it wasn't his fault. I mean, he's an actor. That's his job, you know?
Yeah, he's an actor. It's his job. It's his personality. It's him.
Well, I mean, I like Mark Ruffalo. He's taking a lot of chances with his movie career and making all these choices. He does a lot of independent work, so I got to give him credit for that. And he was in a movie called Spotlight about the Catholic Church and the priests molesting all the kids, which won an Academy Award.
Okay.
So he was in that. So Endgame, Endbag.
You know what you're thinking about, huh? And it's a trash bag.
Yeah. Well, no, because
there's a lot of people have been coming out and saying, they really did swipe the script from the last Voyager episode.
It's also not the most original title. The last episode of
Voyager was Endgame.
Right. No, but also the last episode of Law and Order for the 21st season, or 20th or 21st season. I lost count. And the name of the final episode for the season was Endgame. And then they knew the movie was coming out, and then the name of the episode Endgame. So go figure. But anyway, as far as Men in Black, it's very disappointing. It's boring. The part when they go to it's supposed to take place in England. Then the movie ends in Paris. Well, actually, it starts in Paris. That's the book in it. It starts in Paris, ends in Paris. They go to the desert, and the movie just sinks right below the ground. Pun intended. I mean, talk about quicksand. Yeah, I mean, a movie becomes dead. It's not even funny.
Men in Black is a great, a great tool for a movie. It's just that they didn't work on the script. I didn't see the movie, but just by seeing the trailers,
I saw it last
you said
night.
That was a movie.
That was the movie. You saw the trailers. There's nothing else to see.
By seeing the trailers, you can tell that they had to depend heavily on the fact that this is Chris Hemsworth. These were all the characters that were in Thor Ragnarok with him. You have Death was there, Valkyrie. These are the people. So we're basing on that. Are we going to work on the script? Nah. Why bother? Hey, Robert Downey did it. Why should we worry about writing a script for him?
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is a very talented actor. He's been supported for supporting actor.
He almost won an Oscar for Chaplin.
Yeah, and then he's been nominated for Emmy.
Yeah,
so
he should have gotten already.
Eventually he will.
He's 100% better than the actors out there who've gotten Oscars. It's a complete tragedy.
Yeah, it definitely is. But. Okay, so we got Men in Black out of the way, sorry, but okay, and
but I'm saying they could still make it successful, but maybe they might have to wait a while and find somebody who can carry the film.
That's not going to happen. But anyway, the rest of the month, we got Lion King, Toy Story, more sequels. So that's why for this summer, I got to work really heavily on the music. So July, we're going to come back for Spider-Man. Okay.
I got my tickets.
Okay, and then August, we're going to come out, we're going to come back for Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, yeah, well, the Fast and Furious franchise spin-off, whatever we want to call it.
And you think that's funny. Guess who's going to be replacing The Rock in the new Fast and the Furious 9?
Oh, what's his name?
You can say it, come on.
I forget.
Starts with John. John Cena.
John Cena, right.
Dun.
John Cena did a couple of action movies 10 years ago. He was trying to get his action movie career.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. One has to do, I believe, it's New Orleans.
He was in Bumblebee.
No, before that, 10 years ago, he was trying to get his action career movie thing going.
They said
he did about 3-4 films.
Yeah, his first film was Ready to Rumble by the WCW. Ready to Rumble. He was in that. He was in a scene where he's doing weights.
Right. No, this one's when he's fighting a guy with on a trolley car, I believe. Like it was 10 years ago, and his action career never took over. But
Never
now,
took off, you mean?
Yeah, took off. Well, now.
Well, have you seen some of his films?
Why is that?
He's annoying. Yeah, in Bumblebee, he was so annoying. He was like trying to be, I don't know, I don't know what the heck he was trying to do. He was sort of like that guy, like Chris Christie in Donald Trump's photos. He was just like trying to jump into everything and try to get the laughs.
Right.
But I'm like, you know, Bill Murray, you might as well stop it.
Well, Bill Murray's got that. What's that? That zombie movie?
Yes.
That's DOA also, by the way, at the box office. Believe it or not. But
they're coming out with a new Ghostbusters, so there you go.
and something else we're not asking for. That's why we're going once a month for the summer, okay? But anyway, let's get to the big story.
Yes, sir.
I got my X-Men. Okay, there's another thing I forgot to say. On Instagram, I went through a whole. I got boxes full of shirts for the past 30 years that I worn in the show. Some of them survived, some of them. This shirt is over 10 years old. This is from the first X-Men movie, believe it or not.
Yes.
With Xavier, Patrick Stewart. Of course, he's got Captain Picard. That's going to come out this fall.
That's what they say.
So
they're still having fights about that.
The fans are kind of like,
yeah, it might be a bad idea.
But anyway, this is an old shirt. I'm going to have shirt of the day on Instagram. That's going to be starting next week. Another thing I'm going to put on Instagram. But anyway, I figured, let me wear this shirt that, believe it or not, still fits. And this was when X-Men was actually good.
Really?
Yeah, because
I didn't really like it that much.
Well,
sorry to say.
He didn't have a budget. They gave him $80 million. He had to create, but he did start the X-Men franchise. That's Bryan Singer I'm talking about, director of Bohemian Rhapsody. But anyway, this... Okay, let me get my review out of the way. I love the way Dark Phoenix worked. I thought it was way better than Apocalypse. Apocalypse has got to be the worst of the franchise.
Right, 100%.
Awful. But I just want to talk about the first scene. They send him out in outer space. They even make a joke about it in the movie. It's like, outer space, really? We're going to go there? I thought that was a funny...
It's sort of like saying, like, everybody ends up going to outer space.
Right. So I like the running joke. And all the X-Men do something to save these astronauts on the shuttle. Okay.
Yeah, because the funny thing about the X-Men is they jumped the sequence. They went back in time before they went to space.
Right.
They jumped the sequence, folks.
Okay, Cyclops, you do this. A Storm, you do that. And what's it? Nightcrawler, you do poof. So all the X-Men showed the superpowers right at the beginning of the movie and established how Dark Phoenix got, how she turned into Dark Phoenix. Anyway.
Right, and Rogue, she did her, no, it wasn't Rogue. It was, I forgot, Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence,
yeah,
right.
She did her power of acting.
Yeah, okay.
I'm an actress.
Yeah, okay. But the movie started good, and then at the end, there's a train scene, and it looked like they ran out of money. All the action took place on a train car.
Yes.
I didn't understand that.
It was supposed to be in space.
So they made it backwards.
Yes.
Okay, now, he's got a big story. He should start telling me about the show.
It's all over the internet. If anyone here... I'm not sure if anyone here watches the internet. There's a thing called the internet. Maybe you should take a look at it. If you watch this show on YouTube, maybe you heard of the internet.
I have nothing to do with the sarcasm. But anyway, go ahead.
Subscribe and like. We know you're out there.
Okay. What's the story? Because everybody thinks that Disney produced this. It was 20th Century Fox.
Yes.
Disney only distributed the movie.
No, that's not true. Because Disney came in at the last minute and bought up Fox. While they were doing the movie, they fired all the people who were working on it, took over it, and towards the ending of the filming in the movie, that's when they took over, did some reshoots, killed the budget, and that was Disney. Because they said that for watching the internet and all the people, all discussions, all the quotes from the entertainment magazines, they're basically saying that Disney went in, they killed it. Dark Phoenix was supposed to come around Captain Marvel to compete against Captain Marvel, but Disney pulled it back because they were saying, oh, we don't want anything to compete against Captain Marvel because we want Captain Marvel to be the big franchise going forward with the MCU. Folks, if you think that Disney doesn't have a screw loose, then you got another thing coming. You can take a look. You can go to Best Buy or anywhere else, and you can see the stacks of Captain Marvel DVDs that they have on display, and tumbleweeds going around it, because very few people are saying, okay, that wasn't good the first time. What would make you think I'm going to buy that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bought into it because they thought that it was going to have something major to do with Endgame, and it really didn't. Did you really think Captain Marvel had that much to do with Endgame?
Nope, nothing.
Not at all. So if you didn't see the film, would you have missed anything?
No.
There you go.
And Captain Marvel had nothing to do with Endgame to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. In other words,
She shows at the beginning, she shows at the end.
yeah.
Fupa.
In other words, sort of like what I said with Land of Tomorrow. What was it with George Clooney, where he did that Disney film, Land of Tomorrow, or Edge of Tomorrow? No, Edge of Tomorrow.
Something
Land
Tomorrow,
of
yeah.
Tomorrow,
Oh,
right.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland, right.
Awful.
I should have gave that warning out to Disney. And I think they listened the first time. I said, don't make those DVDs. The thing bombed. Nobody cares. Don't waste the landfill. Don't kill the earth by making these plastic DVDs and these DVDs collectors. Then no one's going to buy this movie. I should have given the same warning for Captain Marvel, and I didn't. And I blame myself. Shame on us. We should have given out that warning.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it didn't do good in streaming. Now, DVDs and Blu-rays is going down. 4K is a total wipeout. That's why they came out with 8K. But now movies are being judged on the streaming. And Captain Marvel we're not going to see a Captain Marvel 2. They're talking about it.
Oh, let's hope they do it. Let's just hope they pull the trigger. Much like the last Star Wars film, they should pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. Really put the gun to their mouths and pull it. Because like I'm saying, Dark Phoenix I thought was great, but they said that Fox put a lot of like hidden messages in it. First hidden message, one of the hidden messages they put in, they called the police officers, they captured them, and put them in their train was the MCU. The police force was initialed the MCU. That's what the initials stood for, MCU.
Okay.
So in other words, they're saying Disney. They captured us, they put us on a train, and guess what happened with the train? It became a wreck.
Right.
So in other words, Disney created a train wreck. That's what they try to say. Ha, 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 folks.
Boy, that's a stretch.
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's not a stretch. That's what their hidden messages. You know, they're what they call an Easter egg.
Right.
So those are 2 Easter eggs, folks, if you're looking for those Easter eggs.
And those Easter eggs on YouTube, right?
Oh, of course. People are talking about how, basically saying that the writer's saying that the Disney took us over. So they're sticking us in a train. They're making this from what we wanted to do it on space, which was going to be great. They're sticking us in a train, and they're forcing us to make this train wreck.
Okay, I mean the train scene. It seemed like it was tagged on.
Yeah, because
Disney
Disney
there was no
cut
budget.
their budget. Yeah, Disney cut their budget, and they told them, "No, we're not going to let you do the space thing. You're going to do the train. You're going to do the scene, and you're going to not waste money." So it's like, okay, guess what? By you hammering us or you handcuffing us, you're going to make us make a train wreck. So that's what they did. That was their wording on it.
I thought the movie was okay. It was 3 out of 5.
Yeah, it was.
Better than
Captain Marvel. And better than Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But
I would actually buy this DVD. It made sense. It actually did make sense. It actually pulled at your heartstrings when it pulled you into the movie. Where are we going to do spoilers? Okay, one spoiler or a couple of spoilers.
Go for it.
Where you thought. What was his name? Jane Grey was going to die, and everybody was so upset. They were like, "Oh my goodness, Professor Xavier, it's your fault. If she dies, it's your fault because you were just so greedy that you wanted to capture all this attention and have the president call you. It's your fault.
I was yawning.
If she dies."
I was yawning.
Okay.
I couldn't care less about the story.
Probably because you just didn't have no passion for it.
No, I mean, I got a passion for a lot of things, but it's a comic book hero. What the hell?
Well, it's all comic book. I mean,
yeah.
Look at Logan. Logan was the same thing.
Yeah, but I fell for that because that was his last hurrah. Over here, the Jean Grey, we know the story already. We know about the Pheonix.
Well, since they did well, he might be coming back.
He could pull it off. Yeah, I think everybody wants Wolverine and Deadpool movie.
Yeah, remember
that's what people want.
Remember, nobody really ever dies.
No. Also, don't forget. People say Disney already has different labels already created for the rated R movies. I mean, they were the ones producing Punisher, and all these shows on Netflix. And, so they can have a label, rated R label, on another a spin-off of Disney. It doesn't have to be the Disney label itself.
For example, why was Logan so good? Because it was a great story. What was it really? It was really like, let's say, like Star Trek used to be. It was sort of like a cowboy film.
Right.
So they can take all the X-Men and make cowboy films with them, and they could be excellent. Because I'm not sure if you remember that the best cowboy films from back in the day were written by the best of the best writers in Hollywood. And the best directors. What was it? John Wayne. He had Ford.
John Ford.
John Ford to help him direct it and would make these films a masterpiece.
One of the classics, The Searchers, by Steven Spielberg, considers one of that particular Western one of his masterpieces. Okay.
Stagecoach.
Stagecoach, another one.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. High Noon, but that, I know that's not with John Wayne. But I'm just saying all these are sort of the starting point for greatness.
Another one that I particularly love was The Wild Bunch. It's a brand new book that came out a couple months ago about the making of. And they were supposed to do a remake on that. You do not remake classics. As a matter of fact, John is going to be on, John the bass player, John Ortega, the bass player. He's got a stunt on to do West Side Story. Again, a remake of a classic directed by Steven Spielberg. I'm supposed to be on it in another couple of months. I haven't got finalized about that yet. But that's a good example of making a remake which nobody is asking for. Okay, but Steven Spielberg, he considers that one of another masterpiece, West Side Story.
No, you can,
which is basically good versus evil, the Jets versus the Sharks.
Yeah, but I could always think you could always make it good. But in reality, West Side Story, I don't think is so much about good versus evil. It's more or less like these are two groups of people who don't understand each other, and this is what happens to them because they're put in this situation that they didn't create themselves.
Actually, the real underground story is a remake of Romeo and Juliet.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 1 minute.
Anyway, like I said, subscribe to us on YouTube. Okay, don't forget my Instagram account. Just Google it. You know, you'll find it. And then in 2 weeks, it's going to be, this show will be a repeat. We'll be back in July 4th weekend with a Spider-Man show. And we're going to do another recap about the MCU universe. Spider-Man is going to do huge, okay? So we're definitely going to be back for that.
Yeah. And more people want more Spider-Man, less of his friends.
Yeah, and enjoy The Lion King, enjoy Toy Story, enjoy the rest of the summer movies. We'll see you for Spider-Man Homecoming. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Shrimp and a Barbie.
There you go. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for celebrating 31 years in the air this July with Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah.
Because of you, we love you.
Okay.
Frank out.
That's
Mark
it.
out. That's it.
That's it. Okay, we're done.
Game over, man.
We're gonna make you in charge, man. All right, we did it. That was a good story, though, but Dark Pheonix. Boy, we really trashed Man in Black. You got anything else? Yeah. Yeah, we covered everything. When we come back with Spider-Man, we do reviews on Toy Story and Lion King, which they're both going to do huge box office. Doesn't matter what the hell.